Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for the Cranberry Hillsborough intersection public meeting. Just before we get started, this meeting is recorded. So if you jump in the middle of it, this is being recorded. And so we're going to talk about this project. We're going to introduce the experts to you. And at the end of the evening, you'll have the ability to ask any questions if you'd like. So with that, Bill, if you want to go ahead and start the presentation, and we'll go through that.
Okay. All right.
So if you want to go to slide 2, Bill, we'll get started. If you're new to Teams, we just kind of wanted to give you an outline of how it works. At the bottom of the screen you'll see the hand icon. If you have any questions, you can click that, and then we will answer you at the end of the presentation. There's also a chat function. If you have any questions, you can submit them that way. If you go to slide 3, Bill, one thing you will hear us mention is we do have, we may have some people dial in that are not able to view the meeting via video, but they're listening in, and maybe they're following along in the presentation. We have made that available on our website ahead of time. We're going to be announcing which slide we're on. So if you're listening and you're following along, we'll let you know specifically what slide we're on. So with that said, let's go to slide 4, Bill. Again, this meeting is being recorded, so we're going to upload this to YouTube afterwards. Put it on our website. So if there's any part of it you want to go back and listen to a second time, you will be able to. As well as we're going to save questions for the end. So if you have any questions, wait till we're done with the presentation. It's about 22 slides. Wait till we're done, and then we'll answer any questions we have afterwards. Slide 5. There are 3 ways you can make comments, even whether you're here live or you're watching this later. If you're live, you raise your hand. It's the little hand icon there on your screen, or you can leave a chat, just a chat comment. We'll be monitoring that throughout the meeting. And the third way is we made a special page for this event and for this topic. If you go to cityofnorthport.com/intersection, cityofnorthport.com/intersection, you'll be able to leave a public comment there, as well as we will put this recorded version on there as well. One thing I wanted to mention before we get started, if you would like to stay updated with this project, and maybe you don't necessarily have a comment, but you want to stay updated, if you go to the website, the cityofnorthport.com/intersection, and just put in your name, put in your email, we will save all of those emails and send out periodic updates with what's going on with the project. So whether you want to leave a public comment on the website or not, maybe a good idea to put your email in just to stay updated. You can go to the next slide, slide number 6. And so our presenters tonight will be Ben Newman, the project manager here for the City of Northport, Bill Adams, the consultant project manager for American Consulting Professionals, and Linda Hess, the lead traffic engineer for American Consulting Professionals. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to the experts, and Ben is going to get us started off.
Good evening, everyone, and glad you're attending this presentation. This is a very interesting project. Hillsborough Boulevard is the dividing line between the City of Northport and Charlotte County. And at this very end here, where Hillsborough Boulevard intersects with Cranberry Boulevard, it's very close to the US 41 Cranberry intersection, and with a lot of traffic we're seeing now and a lot of more traffic we expect to see in the future, this area, these 2 intersections are going to need some geometric improvements for operational efficiency. So the purpose of this project here is to collect the data, traffic data in particular, and turning movement counts, and to see what the predominant movements are, and that we can evaluate some alternatives of the intersections to try to maximize the operational efficiency of the intersections. So with that, I'm going to, would you please move the slide to slide 7? And with the outline of our presentation, we'll show you exactly the project location, the project scope. Then we'll get into traffic terminology to identify the existing conditions, and then how we project future traffic and the improvement options we've come up with initially, the schedule of the project, and then closing comments and opening the presentation to public comments. So please move the slide to slide 7 or 8, and I'll turn it over to Bill Adams.
Okay, so identified, here's the project location. Has been mentioned. This the two intersections are located near the border of Charlotte County with the city of Northport and Sarasota counties, so such that one intersection falls within the city of Northport, whereas the other falls within the Charlotte County. And certainly that's one of the challenges, is the close proximity of the two intersections. So looking at the project scope, this is currently phase 1, which is performing an engineering analysis and developing conceptual improvement options for the Cranberry Hillsborough Boulevard intersection, and it's in combination with the Cranberry Boulevard US 41 intersection, again due to the proximity. Phase 2 is an optional future phase, which would be to prepare the plans for constructions of improvements that we identify during this phase. So the study limits are, again, the intersection of Cranberry Hillsborough Boulevard and Cranberry US 41 intersection, including looking at an expanded area for looking at traffic details. So the traffic evaluation is based upon the existing year and then projecting out the traffic volumes to a future design year of 2045. So Hillsborough Boulevard is currently an existing 2-lane roadway. In the future design year, it's going to be a 4-lane roadway based on the Charlotte County 2045 long-range transportation plan. And I'll turn it over to Linda, who's going to talk about the traffic evaluation.
Thank you, Bill. So on slide 10, we explain level of service, which is a term we use in traffic engineering in order to determine how a roadway intersection or roadway segment is operating. Level of service is a standard measurement based on vehicle delay and speed that reflects the relative ease of traffic, and it works on a scale of A to F. Level of service A being your free flow traffic condition with very minimal delay and cars being able to travel at the posted speed limit. Whereas level of service F denotes a highly congested traffic condition with excessive delay. Slide 11. So for this study, we went out and collected traffic counts back in October of this year, and turning movement counts were taken at both of the study intersections, and we also collected 3-day vehicle classification counts on certain segments in order to better understand traffic conditions of the study area. These traffic volumes were compared to FDOT count stations that are in the area to make sure that the counts collected were in line with historical data and there were no COVID-related issues with the data. As you can see from the counts on slide 11, the heavy movements at the US 41 and Cranberry intersection are the US 41 through movements and also the southbound Cranberry right turn onto US 41. And that is a signalized intersection. At Cranberry and Hillsborough Boulevard, the Hillsborough Boulevard approach is stop sign controlled, and the heavier movements at that intersection are the through movements on Cranberry Boulevard and also the left turning movement on Hillsborough, turning left southbound onto Cranberry towards US 41. Slide 12. On slide 12, we analyzed the existing conditions level of service using Synchro traffic operational analysis software. For the intersection of Cranberry and Hillsborough, we use the highway capacity manual stop control criteria. And from the table on slide 12, you can see in the PM condition, the intersection will operate at unacceptable level of service E with an overall intersection delay per vehicle of 67.9 seconds. At this intersection, it's the Hillsborough Boulevard approach that is experiencing delay due to the stop sign and the free flow condition on Cranberry Boulevard. At the US 41 Tammy Trail signalized intersection, the PM peak is also experiencing unacceptable level of service with 83.4 seconds of delay. Slide 13. The next thing we did to look at, we analyzed for the existing conditions were collisions and reported crashes for the two study intersections. We looked at a historical 5-year period from 2015 to 2019, and there was, as you can see, 2 crashes that occurred at Hillsborough and Cranberry, and then at US 41 and Cranberry 114. There were no fatal crashes that were reported both intersections. The most common type of crash that occurred were rear end crashes, with the second most common type being coded as either unknown or other and sideswipe collisions. Slide 14. The next step that's been completed in this study was looking at future land development and traffic growth in order to determine a growth rate for the study area to forecast our 2045, which is our design year, traffic volumes. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, Hillsborough Boulevard is being widened to 4 lanes, so that was taken into account, and also the connection of Harbor Boulevard to Hillsborough Boulevard. We utilized FDOT District 1 regional planning model, which takes into account these future roadway and future land development. And the District 1 regional planning model has a base year of 2010 and a horizon year of 2040. We use this model just to develop a growth rate for the area and then applied that growth rate to our existing year data, which was collected in 2020, and grew our forecasted volumes to our design year, which is 2045. Slide 15, please. Slide 15 here shows our forecasted volumes for the AM and PM peak hour. The turning movements that were forecasted resemble the same existing travel patterns and heavy movements, and also took into account the same heavy AM and PM peak flow directions. The next slide, slide 16, please. In slide 16, we did a no build future level service analysis. So the no build takes into account the existing roadway geometry that is in place, but uses the 2045 forecasted volumes. The only difference in the no build from the existing conditions is that in this model, in this traffic model, Hillsborough Boulevard was modeled as a 4-lane roadway, since we do know that project is in the LRTP. So for the no build condition, The Cranberry and Hillsborough Boulevard intersection, if remained a stop control intersection, is expected to fail in both the AM and PM peak periods, mostly due to the westbound approach of Hillsborough Boulevard experiencing large delay times. The Cranberry Boulevard and US 41 intersection is expected to fail in the PM peak period with an overall intersection delay of 80.1 seconds. I now will hand it back over to Bill, who will present some concepts in order to alleviate some of these delay times.
Okay, thank you, Linda. So now going to slide 17. So as Linda identified, the evaluation shows that there is a need for improvement. The intersections are not operating according to the desired level of service for either the existing or future conditions. So we're developing 3 alternatives for the design year traffic and comparing those with the no build alternative. And I will get into the details of each of these alternatives in the coming slides. So we're also evaluating the intersection of Cranberry Boulevard with US 41 due to the close proximity of the two, and to ensure that it will function to the desired level of service. The improvements that we would anticipate on US 41 will be somewhat limited, most likely, and could include restriping the eastbound left turn to provide a dual left turn lane. And we've prepared draft exhibits of the options that we're going to develop for this presentation. In the future, we will prepare cost estimates for each refined alternative, and also determine the level of service of those alternatives. And then the ultimate goal is to provide a recommended option to carry forward. Now going to slide 19. So option 1 would be to provide improvements within existing right-of-way, and it would be to signalize the intersection of Cranberry Boulevard and Hillsborough Boulevard. So the advantages of this alternative is it does not require right-of-way. It provides signalized control to allow for turning movements for Hillsborough Boulevard, and those vehicles are currently experiencing the difficulty that they can't find a gap to be able to turn onto Cranberry. The disadvantages is that it doesn't improve the issue with the proximity to the US 41 intersection, and that limits the turn lane links for that intersection. So moving to slide 20. Option 2 would be a roundabout at the intersection of Hillsborough and Cranberry Boulevard. And this could allow for longer turn lane lengths. It doesn't have to compete with other left turn lanes going north, because those occur in the roundabout. It has conflict reductions over the stop sign controlled intersection and doesn't rely on electricity. The disadvantages is it does require some right-of-way. And at this time, we haven't performed all the traffic analysis to determine if it needs one or two circulating lanes, which would be the lanes going around the roundabout. Going to slide 21. The option 3 would be the realignment of Hillsborough Boulevard at Cranberry Boulevard, which would take the future 4-lane Hillsborough roadway and connect that to US 41, if you will, instead of Cranberry connecting to US 41, and then redesigning the intersection of Cranberry with Hillsborough to tee Cranberry into Hillsborough. And this could make sense because Hillsborough is the major roadway. It's the 4-lane roadway, and it allows for some longer turn lanes because it moves the intersection of Hillsborough and Cranberry somewhat to the north. The disadvantages of this alternative would be that it requires the most right-of-way. So moving to slide 22, and I will turn it over to Ben to discuss the schedule.
Okay, so as you can see on this graph, the draft report is to be submitted the 10th of December, which is a little more than a month, a little less than a month away. We'll take comments from this public information meeting and evaluate them and make any changes that to any of these 3 alternatives that seem appropriate, and complete the draft report. And then we will move along after the draft report to refine all of these alternatives, with a better design cost, a little more better idea of the land values, and if there are any environmental issues that we need to perform studies for. And then we will finalize those alternatives into a presentation to both the City Commission and the Charlotte County Commission. And following those presentations in early February, then we will take comments from the 2 commissions and prepare another presentation for a second public meeting. And then after that, which will be in late February, and after that we will complete the final report and have it completed and submitted by the end of March of 2021. So with that, if we move on to slide 23, I'll turn it over to Mike Fear.
Yes, everybody, thank you for watching this, for joining us. If you had any problems getting into the meeting, I wanted to let you know of one thing. So you guys can go to, again, cityofnorthport.com/intersection. If you go to that URL, cityofnorthport.com/intersection, there is a section where you can go on there. I'm going to show you my screen here. You can go on there, and at the very bottom, you can submit your public comment. So if you go back afterwards and watch this recorded video, you can then go down here, enter your first name, your email address, and any public comments you have. If you don't have any comments, but you want to stay updated on the project, just put in your name, your email, hit submit, and we'll make sure we get that and get you added on that list as well. So again, guys, thank you everybody for joining us, and we look forward to your comments. Thanks.